Dude, you can't just walk away in a disagreement in a relationship. Any relationship will have disagreements. Absolutely, 100%. I fully agree. Any and all relationships at some point in time, you're going to have a disagreement, right? So, this comment was left on the video that I did titled, let me look at the title, but it was like not arguing with women, right? Being able to walk away from an argument. And so, I want to address the difference, right? I want to have a conversation about the difference between having a disagreement and having an argument. Man, it's two totally different things, and you have to understand that. And if you don't understand that there is a difference between arguing, right, and disagreeing, then all I can say is this. Man, you're pretty much in bad shape. All right. So I just got to the studio. I just sat down. Let me see if I can get this right. And I'm going to go ahead and get this going, y'all. Give me a second. All right, so check this out, fellas. If you're the guy that's in a relationship or you're dealing with a woman, regardless of what the status of that relationship is or what title she has, whether she's your girlfriend, your wife, whatever it is, right? If you constantly argue with her, it's a problem. And I want you to fully understand that there's a difference between having a disagreement versus an argument. An argument is not a disagreement. An argument is not a disagreement. A disagreement is where, you guys don't see eye to eye on a decision that has to be made, whether it be where you're going to dinner, whether it be what side of town you want to live on, whether it be, you want to have kids or not, and it doesn't have to be something that drastic. It could be something minor. Okay. Now, how you handle that disagreement is what matters. The disagreement itself really doesn't matter. I will say this, though. If you consistently throughout your relationship are having disagreements, in my opinion, that could be a red flag. When you constantly disagree on things, in my experience, it's an indication that you guys are really not on the same page, meaning you guys are not really equally yoked. If you always have a disagreement on where it is that you want to eat, right? Y'all guys might just have two totally different lifestyles or two totally different diets when it comes to how it is you eat. To give you an example, I don't eat meat. Okay. I do not eat meat at all. However, when it comes time for me to go out to eat, I choose places that are going to be vegetarian or vegan friendly. So it's not a problem. Okay. But if you're constantly in a situation where she wants to go out to eat, yet there's nothing for you on the menu because of the lifestyle that you live in regards to your diet, then that could be problematic because she's not even taking into account that, hey, you know what? He has a special diet. He doesn't eat meat or he doesn't eat this or whatever. So if, I'm going to decide where it is that we're going to go eat, or I'm going to make a suggestion that we go eat, and the places, that are being chosen aren't indicative to the type of food that you eat, that's an indication that you're not even being considered when certain decisions and choices are being made. So now you're going to have a disagreement. And it kind of follows suit with everything in line. She wants a big house. You don't want a big house. Your finances are not even being considered in the fact that, okay, if we upgrade this house, it's now going to cost me X amount of money out of my pocket. That means my work life or my work home balance is going to be off because now I'm going to have to work a lot of overtime and things of that nature in order to be able to afford the house. It could be differences in, politics. It could be differences in religion. Again, it could be differences on how you raise the kids. It could be finance. It could be a lot of different things. But it's not necessarily the disagreement. The more disagreements you have, in my opinion, the less healthy the relationship is going to be, because for the most part, you're not on the same page. For the most part, you're not equally yoked. Now, let me get into arguing. Arguing is a very, very ineffective way to try to get a point across. See, when you try to understand someone, you're going to ask questions. Why do you see it your way? Why do you not see it my way? And you're trying your best to get a better understanding of your partner, and you're trying to express how you feel and why, so that your partner could get a better understanding of you. That is how, you come to the table when it comes to disagreements, just to kind of get everybody on the same page. Everybody kind of understands, like, okay, I see what it is that you're saying. You see what it is that they're saying. It doesn't mean that you're going to change your mind, but at least you can come to some middle ground. When it comes to arguing, it's about winning. It's about proving your point. So now all you're trying to do is prove your point. All she is trying to do is prove her point. And I'm telling you guys, at the end of the day, it's very, in my opinion, it's very destructive, because now it's a you against her type situation. And you're going to do whatever it is you have to do. You're going to say whatever it is that you have to say to, quote unquote, win the argument. And it just does not make sense. It's not productive when it comes to communication. And also, it's counterproductive when it comes to the level of attraction that woman is going to have for you. I'm telling you right now, men who argue show weakness. That's just what it is. Guys, you cannot change a woman's biology, right? There are some things that are just biologically in us, in them, that makes us feel certain ways. It just is what it is. When you argue with women, I'm telling you right now, it is very weak. Don't do it, okay? It shows a lack of emotional intelligence. It shows a lack of self-control. It shows that you cannot manage your emotions good enough to effectively communicate what it is that you're trying to communicate. A leader has a strong capability to influence other people. That's what a leader does. A boss just gives instructions. Now, if you just want to boss a woman around, do this and do that and whatever, fine. Good luck with that. Maybe it'll work for you. I don't know. But you will never be able to truly dominate a relationship if that's going to be your way, forcefully trying to control someone to do something. Guys, disagreements are not arguments. There are two different things. It's fine to disagree. Arguing is weak. It's poor leadership, and you'll never be able to effectively dominate a relationship to where the woman wants to and is willing to follow your lead. That's what domination is about. And you'll never be able to dominate a relationship or dominate a woman in a relationship if you argue. It shows signs of weakness. It shows your inability to effectively communicate. And it also puts you in a position where you're going to be looked at as controlling. You're trying to win an argument so that you can, negatively influence or negatively manipulate the person into just seeing it your way. And it's ineffective. It does not work. And biologically, it turns women off. Okay. So you're going to have disagreements. Disagreements are fine. Arguing is weak. If you are emotionally intelligent and you feel yourself, your emotions, your feelings starting to get, revved up, worked up because you're in the middle of a disagreement, and the communication of the disagreement is starting to go left or south or not the direction that you want it to go. You should be emotionally intelligent to, number one, recognize your level of emotions and feelings are being elevated, you also have to be able to understand and recognize her emotions and her feelings beginning to get elevated as well. That's a part of being emotionally intelligent, not only recognizing how you feel, but being able to read the tone and the body language, right, of other people. And when you can do that, that's when you know that you do have some type of emotional intelligence within you. And now how you respond to how you're feeling and how she's feeling is everything. If you cannot effectively disagree and communicate the disagreement and in some way, shape, or form come to a some type of resolution and be able to move on, then you got big problems, guy. I'm just trying to tell you that. So you can disagree all day long. It's how you handle that disagreement and how you communicate that disagreement. That level of communication should never get so out of control that it becomes an argument. Period. Do not argue with women. If you feel yourself, right, getting, to the point where now you're getting ready to lose control, you have to walk away. You just have to walk away because you're not emotionally intelligent enough to pull back, calm down, still be able to, accept what it is that she's saying, regardless of her mood, her attitude, her demeanor, and all of those things. You have to not be able to get triggered and still stand on your square and effectively communicate like, no, we're not going to do that, or no, we're not going to do this, or we're doing it this way, or whatever the case may be. Most of the time, guys, once we get to that point, we're not able to be calm, cool, and collected about the whole situation. So the best thing to do is to walk away. I'm going to stand on that all day long. All day, every day, I'm going to stand on you being emotionally intelligent enough to know that I'm out of my league and let me just walk away. Even if it takes a couple of minutes, even if you walk away for a couple of minutes just to calm down. You understand what I'm saying? Again, communication is key in a relationship. So you have to be able to understand like, yo, you know what? I'm getting ready to lose it. I'm getting ready to lose it. Let me just walk away. Let me cool off. Let me get my thoughts together. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll revisit this. Listen, it's okay if you just say, hey, hold on. You know what? Give me a couple of minutes. If the woman respects you, right, she'll give you a couple of minutes to calm down. You might say, listen, let's table this and come back and talk about it later. Because right now, it's not the right time because whatever, like I said, you got to be able to survey the situation and see, okay, look, my emotions are high, your emotions are high. Let's table this. Let's just sit this down and come back to it later. Okay? So disagreements and arguments are two totally different things, guys. All right? And you must fully understand this. So I'm going to say to you guys, sometimes it is best to remain silent. Walk away from the situation when you feel your feelings and your emotions and all of that getting all out of control. Take a couple minutes, take half a day if you need to, whatever it is that you need, and then you come back and revisit the situation. Do not argue with women. Remain silent. Walk away if you have to. All right. Now, if she's egging you on, oh, now you just want to leave and whatever like that, and you feel like you're getting baited, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand, don't fall for it. Anybody who's been through a breakup, for the most part, leading up to the actual breakup, there was just a whole bunch of arguing, and it got to the point where, I'm not going to do this anymore. Either you left, she left, or whatever the case is. Don't argue with women. I stand on that, fellas. Do not argue with women, okay? Having a disagreement is not having an argument. It's two totally different things. It's fine when you have disagreements, but arguing is unacceptable. Don't do it. You're going to lose all day. It is what it is. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good.